Hello everyone, this is Karina with Karina Loves to Plan. Welcome back to my channel. So here I am with another pen review. So this is a years later, I guess, pen review of the Sailor Pro Gear Slim and the Sailor Pro Gear. So I wanted to do this review now that I have been using these pens for a couple of years. So the Sailor Pro Gear in the pink gold or the white rose gold I've had for a little over 2 years now. And before that I had a Sailor Pro Gear Slim in Dragon Palace. So I've had the Sailor Pro Gear Slim and Pro Gear models for the last couple of years, and I just wanted to go over my thoughts and feelings about these pens now that I have acquired other pens, tried other pens, and I wanted to go over things like, are these pens good for long or short writing sessions? Are they better with wet or dry inks? Is there a lot of feedback? Is it smooth? Do they stain, especially with a white pen like that? Is it comfortable in the hand? Are they an everyday carry pen, or are they best left at the desk? How are they with shimmer or sheening inks, and what preferred paper do I use with these? So I'm going to do this, actually I'm going to answer each of those questions all at once with both of the pens here. So firstly, I just want to show that these two models of the Sailor Pro Gear Slim, this is the Sailor Pro Gear Slim in Manio Nuts, which I got for my birthday earlier this year. And how did I fund this? I funded this by selling the Sailor Pro Gear Slim Dragon Palace, and then my husband basically helped with the funds for the rest of that. So this was my birthday present, and it's just, I love the color, and I love the yellow finials and the little acorn at the top there. And then this one was purchased actually this time last year. This was a very spontaneous and unexpected purchase. This is the Sailor Pro Gear Slim Christmas Pudding. So you've got the green translucent with the sparkles, and then the brown body and the different colored grip section. What I love about this is because it did remind me of Christmas pudding in the UK, and I just love Christmas in general. So I wanted a pen to embody that. And then this pen is the Sailor Pro Gear in the pink gold or the white rose gold that I purchased off eBay 2 years ago. And this one has a 21 karat nib. So are these pens good for long or short writing sessions? And first thing I do have to say is that the Sailor Pro Gear Slim model is one of the few pens that I will actually post. The reason for that is if I don't post it, it is a small pen, even for me. So I definitely need to post this pen, and I don't normally post my pens. Is this good for short or long writing sessions? I personally would only use this for short writing sessions. I find that the Sailor Pro Gear Slim model is just that bit too small for me. It's kind of in the same size as the Pelikan M400 or the Pelikan M200. So while the Sailor Pro Gear Slim seems to be the model that Sailor comes out with new colors almost monthly, for me, this size is just that bit too small, which kind of helps me not buy every single color of Sailor that's out there. With the Sailor Pro Gear, this one actually, I could post it, and actually it's still comfortable posting it. This one I could actually write for longer sessions. So the ideal size for me for the Sailor Pro Gear models is the Sailor Pro Gear. I haven't tried a Sailor Pro Gear King of pens yet, so we'll see. I feel like that would be massive in my hand, and I wouldn't have to post that one. But for the Sailor Pro Gear model, this fits comfortably in my hand, and I could certainly write for longer sessions with this. My only concern is that when I am writing with it, where the cap meets the pen body here when I'm posting it, and where it rests on my hands in that little webbing area, I know there is a name for that, and I keep forgetting it. But it actually isn't too uncomfortable resting there. So actually, when I hold it like this, it definitely is one pen that I could write for longer sessions with. So that is for the Sailor Pro Gear. Now, are these better with wet or dry inks? At first, the Sailor Manio Nuts with a medium fine nib, this one was better with wetter inks. I find with drier inks, it felt scratchy. Whereas with my Christmas pudding, this one has a medium nib, And this is great with dry or wet inks. I really love the medium nib on this. It just felt so smooth. And then the medium fine nib. So the medium fine nib on the Pro Gear is a 21 karat nib versus the one on the Pro Gear Slim, which is 14 karat. And I found that the same dry ink that would go into the medium fine and the Manio Nuts actually felt wetter in this particular pen. So I think this pen, the Pro Gear with a 21 karat medium fine nib, actually was good with both wet and dry inks. Now, in terms of feedback, oh boy, when I first got the Sailor Pro Gear Slim Manio Nuts, this probably had the most feedback out of these three. And I think it had so much feedback to the point where it wasn't the most enjoyable and it felt scratchy. I actually ended up having this tuned and smoothed by Kirk Spear of Pen Realm at San Francisco, and he spent a long time tuning and smoothing this. It just, I guess it needed a lot of work, and now it is really smooth, still with that Sailor feedback, but much smoother than what it was. The medium nib, however, oh goodness, there's still that Sailor feedback there, but in terms of smoothness, it is the smoothest out of these three. And then the 21 karat, definitely, because it hasn't been tuned and smooth, probably still has the most feedback out of these three, but it's not feedback to the point that it's scratchy. It's that Sailor feedback that so many people love. And with the right ink, I would say with the drier ink, you're going to feel more of that feedback. With a wetter ink, it's going to be more on the smooth side. So it really depends on the type of ink. But if you like the Sailor feedback, I think that buying a Sailor Pro Gear is definitely going to be within that realm of feedback that you'll like. Now, do they stain? For the Manio Nuts, especially with the translucent yellow section, I haven't had any trouble with any staining in there, although I have seen some other people talk about how they have stained within that grip section. And then for the Christmas pudding, because it is a lighter brown, I actually haven't had any issues with staining in that, which is good. However, with the Sailor Pro Gear, because it is a white body, I have had issues with staining, but thankfully I've been able to remove the stains on this with a solution that was recommended to me by people in Simone's Discord group. So there is a possibility that you're gonna stain any type of white pen, but there is a solution sold on Amazon, which I can link in the description below, that can help get that out. So yay. Is it comfortable in the hand? All right. So with the Sailor Pro Gear Slim, I have to admit it does look like it is comfortable in the hand. For me personally, the section is a little bit too narrow, and for me this section makes such a huge difference. Especially, I mean, for me personally, you guys have seen me with my nails. When they get a little bit too long, yes, it can be a little bit more difficult to grip because you have the nail hitting that part of the section, or if you grip lower, you're almost on the nib basically with the nails. But for me, the grip section is just that little bit too narrow. I personally like a grip section that's more than 10.5 millimeters and as a diameter, and this is just, I mean, that bit too small for me. Now for the Sailor Pro Gear, this one is definitely a lot more comfortable in the hand for me because it is a wider pen and a longer pen, but also a slightly heavier pen. So all those three things together make for a more comfortable pen for me. But for me, definitely the grip section makes a huge difference. If the grip section of a pen is less than 10 millimeters for me, it can get uncomfortable for longer writing sessions. I'll be able to handle it for maybe a page of journaling in my A5 Hobonichi Cousin, but anything longer than that, it's just not a pleasurable writing experience for me. So for some people, they find this super comfortable. For me personally, it kind of goes back to that question, is it good for long or short writing sessions? Because of the width of the pen and the size of the pen, it's only good for me for short writing sessions, because after that, it's not very comfortable. Now, how are these pens with Shimmer or Sheen inks? I have to say with the Christmas pudding, because it has a medium nib, it is better with Shimmer or Sheen inks. What did I use with this last year? I can't remember off the top of my head, but I feel like I did use a Shimmer ink with this last year and it was amazing. There were no hard starts. It was still very smooth to write with. It was a very, very enjoyable experience writing with a Shimmer ink in this. Now, with the medium fine nibs, especially in the Manio nuts and the 14 karat medium fine, I tend to shy away from using too many Shimmer inks in this. Sheen, I think, would be fine with both of these. My only concern would be, you know, the staining on the white, but I tend to shy away from using Shimmer or Sheen inks in the 14 karat medium fine and the Manio nuts. However, with the medium fine on the 21 karat in the Pro Gear, I have used Shimmer inks in this, and actually it worked out quite well. I don't shy away from using Shimmer inks in my more expensive pens. I think if I really enjoy the combination, why not? And I have, you know, pen flush that can help get all of that shimmer out of the pen. So I don't shy away from using Shimmer or Sheen inks in my more expensive pens. But in terms of which one would handle it the best, the medium nib in my Christmas pudding handles the Shimmer and the Sheen inks best. And then probably second would be the 21 karat medium fine in the Sailor Pro Gear in the pink gold. And then lastly, I probably wouldn't put any in the medium fine in the Manio nuts. Now, my preferred paper. I feel like this question for me, because I really only use the one type of paper. Well, no, that's not true. I use Tomoe River paper. I also use Rhodia paper. And then I've been getting into using the Endless Regalia paper. For me, my preferred paper out of anything, regardless of what pen it is the Tomoe River paper. So I really love using these pens with the Tomoe River paper. Saying that, however, because the Rhodia paper has a little bit more coating, these feel a lot smoother, I think, on the Rhodia paper. So that's definitely Rhodia paper. So that's definitely something to think about. But I think when it comes to paper, it is personal preference. Let's see, I'm looking at my Hobonichi Cousin, my B6 Galen leather notebook here, and then my A6 5-year journal, all Tomoe River paper, and even my notebook that I'm transcribing in is Tomoe River paper. So if the fountain pen works on Tomoe River paper, great. But then for comparisons, I also do occasional jotting down notes on the Rhodia paper, which is actually very smooth with these as well. Whew. All right, so that is my year review, or years later review, because it's been 2 years since I've owned a Sailor Pro Gear Slim and a Sailor Pro Gear. At the end of the day, would I recommend these? Yes, I would. For me personally, the Pro Gear Slim is just that bit too small. But if you find this size to be perfect in your hand and you love all the different colors, have at it. This is the great thing about Sailors, is that if you like this model and you like the size, there will be a color for you. There will be a colorway for you. And for the Pro Gear is just that little bit more expensive. I actually purchased this off eBay for a really great price. So there is that option as well. I know some people don't always like to go the eBay route, but there have been some really great deals on there. So I would recommend these two pens 2 years later. Will I ever buy another Sailor Pro Gear Slim? Probably not. Would I buy another Sailor Pro Gear? Probably, but only if I sell this pen. This is the thing, like if I'm gonna buy another Pro Gear, it would be to have a 21 karat medium nib and to replace this one. I don't think I'm going to add any more Sailor Pro Gears and Pro Gear Slims to my collection. All right, but that is it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. If you enjoy these years later pen reviews, please let me know as well. And any feedback or any questions or anything else that you'd like to hear in these reviews, please let me know, because I would love to be able to do these reviews more often, because I feel like these years later reviews are, somebody said, that much richer, because I have acquired that much more information, so I am better able to explain how I feel about these pens than I did when I first unboxed them. Once again, thank you guys so much for watching and have yourselves a great day.